In this video, I'm going to guide you step by step in the creation of a blog like the one that you're seeing right now, using just the free WordPress site editor. It's going to be a great journey, a great adventure. You're going to be able to use also my navigation bar down below if you want to jump to the parts of the video that you're most interested in. But if you're a beginner, I would suggest you to follow step by step, and you're going to obtain the same result that you're seeing here right now. So you're going to have a beautiful homepage like this one with a hero section that you can customize with your title here, with your colors, with your buttons, whatever you want, and of course your own images. Then you're going to be able to create the single posts. So each time you want to create a new article, you just need to open the editor and you can drag your title inside, choose the image. You can also select the category, and then you're going to have also the publishing date and so on. You can create an excerpt, then you can have all the article content. If you want, you can also create a call to action, and then you will have also the ability to receive comments. I'm going to show you how to create then the blog archive, where we can collect automatically all the published posts on your website. Then you're going to be able also to create categories and to customize the categories pages. So if you write about humans, about creativity, about business, like in this example, you can categorize and organize all your articles like this. And keep in mind that all this is created using just the free version of WordPress, which is becoming more and more powerful. Everything you see, in fact, is easily customizable using a simple drag and drop editor, which is included for free in WordPress. If I want to change, for example, the order of these elements, I can place this image here, and I have the title on the right. Or I can swap the position of this title and put it up. Or I can change the color of this button, just doing like this. Or I can change the design and put it like this. And of course, you can just type whatever you want in real time. Your website is going to be optimized by default. It's going to load very fast, as you can see right now. And in the final part of the video, I will show you how you can create blog posts using a free AI assistant called Kodee, provided by Hostinger. Using this tool, you can create the basic structure of your blog post. You can just ask to structure it for you. So I just sent the prompt now. It's going to create the blog post here. And if I reload the page, I'm going to see it right here. The next 5 web design trends in 2026. Here is my excerpt. And here is the content, a great starting point to then develop my article. And you can then easily follow up and ask Kodee to do plenty of other things. Now find a good featured image for this blog post and assign the creativity category that you find on my blog. Send. Now when I will reload the page, I expect here my featured image to appear and the category to be assigned right here. And voila, there's my featured image and there's my creativity category assigned. To get started, you're just going to need a service like Hostinger, which is going to host all the files and the domain name of your website, so that you will be able to have a professional and good-looking website, optimized, secure, at a very affordable pricing. And as I always say, if you have any question during the tutorial, feel free to drop me a line in the comment section below. My name is Pascal, this is WP Rhodes, and now let's dive in. But before getting started, my daughter has a favor to ask you.
Please subscribe to my daddy channel.
If you click on the subscribe button, you will be part of the small community of people that are watching my videos and are also subscribed. Congratulations! Subscribed? Okay, now we are ready to get started. Now to get started and recreate this beautiful blog here, we're going to buy a hosting provider. This is the only paid part of this tutorial because it is the foundation of your business, of your website. As you can see here, I am on Hostinger webpage. It is one of the best hosting provider for WordPress. So basically, this is the service that will let you install WordPress and host all your files and all the content that you're going to create on your blog. So thanks to this, you're going to be able to have this, okay? This is clear? Great. You're also going to have the possibility to have a domain here that you can have for free for the first year. And the domain is nothing but the name of your website. In this case is hostinger.com, wproads.com. And when you use Hostinger, you can choose a free domain for the first year when you buy your first hosting space. All right? And then when you scroll down, you will see all the 3 plans. Where do you find this? You find a link in the description box down below that will land you just on this page. And it is my affiliate link, so thank you in advance if you want to use it because you're going to support my work. I'm also going to share with you a small coupon code. Keep your attention activated and let's see which plan it is the best for you to create your own blog with WordPress. Okay, you can start if you want with the premium plan. But I will suggest you to use the business plan directly. Why that? Because the difference is very subtle. You see, it's just $1 of difference. And you can also have, if you choose the business plan, you will have much more features and premium performance inside your package. Look here, you can host up to 50 websites. You can also have some credits if you want to vibe code apps, which is also something good. You will have a lot of storage, 50 gigabytes, and you will have NVMe storage. This means that your hard disk will be secure and fast, much more than a simple SSD storage disk. Okay, you will have also 5 mailboxes per website for free for the first year. You also have all the details here if you want to learn how this is going to renew. And then you will have all this stuff here, which is very, very good. You will have a free domain for the first year, which is the thing that I was telling you before. You will have everything you need to run and maintain a WordPress website. You will have also daily backups when you choose the premium business plan. And you will have also an AI agent, which is called Kodee, which is very useful when you want to create content or also just manage your website. It's going to be very fun, and I'm going to show you how this is going to work and how you can use it the best way. Then you also have a CDN and a lot of different stuff, also advanced features that you can explore if you want to make your website faster and so on. So the best plan to get started is, in my opinion, the business one. Of course, feel free also to start with the premium if you prefer, but let's go ahead and see what will happen when you click on choose plan. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. If you have any question, by the way, you can drop me a line in the comment section below. I always try to reply to all the questions that I receive in the comments. So go ahead and do that if you need to do so. As you can see here, you can choose between different billing periods. This is the very important part where you choose how much you want to invest in your project. And keep in mind that you can reuse the same space here that you're buying right now to host up to 50 websites. So it's a very great way to invest money when you want to work online in general. Okay, you have 1 month, 12 months, 24 or 48. If you choose 48, you will have a huge discount, as you can see here, and you do not have to worry about hosting for up to 4 years. So this is a good investment. And keep in mind that if you're not satisfied, you can just test things out. If it doesn't work for you, if you're not convinced, you just ask to be refunded and it will be processed for you in a matter of seconds. So this is very, very, very risk-free. If you want, you can also secure your domain while you are buying this hosting. But don't worry, because if you do not have your domain name ready for the buying process, you can buy it later from your account. So no pressure about this. And we can click on continue. But before doing that, I have a coupon. Yes, I have it. Yes, I have it. Thank me later. This is WP Roads. And it is written like this, WP Roads, the roads of WordPress. And then you click on apply. You will have a 10% off applied for you in the cart. Cool, right? Then you can click on continue. You will be asked to create an account. This is very easy. You can register using Google or GitHub, or you can use an email address and a password. You click on register, and then you will see the first section will be all about the building address. You can just fill out all the details here. Then you can scroll down. You click on continue, and you will have the payment method. You can choose card, PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or you even have Alipay or CoinGate and so on. So choose your payment method here and click on submit payment. And now you should see a page like this one after your purchase, or a similar page. You can easily click on the Hostinger logo here. If you want to go and visit the dashboard, you can click on leave so that you can see that now you are logged into your Hostinger account, your Hostinger dashboard. You can head to websites, okay? And you will see a list of all your installed websites. If this is your first purchase in Hostinger, of course, you're going to see nothing here, just your hosting plan. In my case, I have a few plans, you see, a few business plans, and you just need to locate your business plan, the one that you just purchased, and then you click on add website. Easy as that. Then here you select WordPress, okay? And then you follow the step-by-step WordPress installation, which is very easy. Let me show you here. You select the language. You can also change this later, so don't worry. You select your administration email. It's very important to choose an email and a password that you will use then to access your WordPress website. And then once you're ready, once you created a strong password, you can click on next. All right, let's go ahead. Now we have to choose a domain name. And when you purchase for the first time, you're also going to have the free domain for the first year that you can redeem. If you want to redeem it, you just need to choose the domain name that you have chosen, type it here, okay? For example, like this. Then you type the extension .com, and you're going to see if this domain name is free or not. As you're going to see here, these domain names are all free for the first year, and you can purchase them. You just click here and you proceed, and you're going to install your website on your new domain, which is great and very easy. In case you're not yet ready to select your domain name because you have not chosen one, you can just use a temporary domain. So we can click here. It's going to create for us a temporary domain name, as a thing like this one, for example, that you can change later on when you have your official domain. This is great to use a temporary domain because you can build your website without having to worry about the domain name. And once you're ready, you can switch to your real domain name. For example, myawesomewebsite.com. Okay, let's choose now our data center. This choice is very easy because you just need to choose the data center, which is the closest one to your traffic source, to your main traffic source. For example, if you have a blog written in English, for example, which is also directed to an American public, for example, an American public, yes, you can choose one of these data centers here. Because like this, your website is going to load faster for those people that connects from here. If you're going to target South America, you can choose this one, and so on. In my case, I will stay in Europe, since I'm going to target a global audience, for example. And this data center is also green, powered by green energy. So this is good to know. Let's click on next. Okay, we can also play as a video game here if you type the spacebar while WordPress is installing. Perfect time now to drink a cup of coffee. Tell me in the comments, what are you drinking right now? Ready to go. It's time to build your online success. Of course, if you want, you can use this, but it's going to be a little bit limited. So in my case, I prefer to go with WordPress admin. All right, that's great. You see, so we have here our dashboard. If you want, you can use this AI website creation if you want to go back to this screen, and you can try to start building the structure of your website using AI. But in my case, I will go ahead and use the standard WordPress admin dashboard because I prefer it. And I will use AI here with Kodee just to create the content, to manage a little bit of the settings of the website and so on. Okay, now to get started, the first thing to do is to go on settings. We go on general and we make sure here to have our website name. So we change this with our website name. In my case, it's going to be My Awesome Blog, for example. And here I have a tagline. This is the payoff or the tagline of your website, of course. Explain in a few words what you're doing. Best articles about tech stuff. Do not write a whole paragraph. And we can choose the site icon, which is going to be displayed here to the top of the navigation bar and also in other parts. In my case, I'm going to upload a simple logo. Okay, now I'm going to upload this logo here and I'm going to crop the image. All right. And it's going to be uploaded like this. As you can see here, this is the preview of how this logo is going to be seen in the front end. All right, now we have a few elements here. Do not touch anything. There's no need to do that. This is your administration email for the website. This, we can keep it like this, disabled. And then here we can change the language if you want, and we can change the time zone. Let's put our time zone. In my case, I'm in Paris, so I will put Paris. You can change the date format if you want, and also the time format. I will keep it like this, and we'll keep the week starts on Monday. Save changes. Here we can also get rid of Kodee. All right, perfect. And we can go ahead now and start creating our website. But before doing so, let's go and perform a little bit of cleanup in the pages and posts. You see here we have a privacy policy page, which has been automatically generated for you by WordPress. If you want to keep this, you can just have a preview of this page, and you can go ahead and save it just by updating the suggested text with your own privacy policy text if you want to. It's a good starting point for any website, so you can keep it like this. In my case, I will trash it because I want to recreate this page when I'm ready later on, or using a dedicated plugin. By the way, if you want, I also have a tutorial about Cookie Yes, which is a plugin that also has a privacy policy generator inside, which is pretty cool. So you can go ahead and check it out in the comment section below. No, sorry, in the description box below. I will leave you the link. Okay, now we can go ahead and go to the posts, and we can do the same. We have an Hello World post that we can trash. All right, we can go to the trash and we can empty the trash. All right, and we can go to the plugins and see what's installed right now. We have a bunch of Hostinger plugins, which are Hostinger AI, Hostinger Easy Onboarding, Reach Tools, and cache. I would suggest you to deactivate reach because we do not need it right now. We can delete it. All right. And we can also delete the easy onboarding. All right, delete, perfect. So we keep just the AI and the tools, great. And then we can go ahead and check our themes. So we can go on appearance, themes, and sometimes Hostinger installs an AI theme, which they use when you want to create your website using AI. But I will suggest you to switch to 2025 theme, which is more intuitive and easier to use in my opinion. So we can switch to this one. This is the default WordPress theme. Now that we have activated 2025, we can go ahead and delete all the other themes. All right, let's do that. We click on delete. Okay. We do the same for this other theme here, delete, so that everything is going to be clean and we're not going to have not useful stuff. All right, so this is our theme. If we go and visit our website from the front end, we just need to go up to the top left side of the administration bar and we can click on visit site. As you can see here, this administration bar is going to be visible only for you, and we can see that this is our blog. Of course, we're going to work now to transform it into something professional and creative like the blog that you see here. And now the last thing we can do is go ahead to our profile here to the top right and make sure that all our data and details are going to be inserted correctly. So we change the first name to our first name and last name. All right. Then we can change also the display name, which is going to be used in the front end. All right. We can change if we want our contact info, and we can change also the biographical info. I'm going to write here a short bio. Okay. And then I can go ahead and update my profile. In case I need it, I can also set up a new password here that I'm going to use to log into my website each time I want to do so. By the way, if you want to log in, log out from your website, you just need to go ahead to the top right side. You click on log out. It's going to show you this page. If you click here, go to my title of the website. You're going to see your website from the front end. You see that the administration bar is no more there. And then when you want to log back into your website, you just select the URL and you type dash, okay, wp-admin /wp-admin. It's very easy. It's like this. And once you press enter, you will see this specific page, which is the login page. And you can go ahead and enter your email and password and log in. If you do not remember your email and password, you can just go to your Hostinger dashboard. You go to websites. You're going to see here your just installed website, which is this one in my case. And you can click on WP admin. As you're going to see, is going to log you in automatically into your website, into your WordPress website, without having you to insert any email or password. So if you forgot it, you can just go and do like that. And another very important thing, remember that if you need to change your password, you can go to users, you go to your user, and you select a new password just from here. You can set it up like here, like this. Very easy. Now let's go back to our dashboard, home, and we can clean it up just by clicking here to the top right side to the screen options, and we just deactivate all those widgets because we do not need them and they just distract us. All right, screen options. Great. Now we are ready to get started. As I was showing you before, when you go and visit your website, you're going to see something like this. If you do not see the administration bar, even if you are logged in, it means it's a problem of cache. And you can type Command-Shift-R or Control-Shift-R if you are on Windows. And you're going to see that the website is going to hard refresh, is going to reload the page, and is going to show you the administration bar. This is just a matter of caching. If you want to avoid caching, which is this one here, this is a specific plugin, you can go ahead to the plugins and you can disable the Lightspeed Cache plugin while you are creating the website. You can deactivate it. All right. You can just make it temporary, deactivate, and then you're going to re-enable this plugin when you finish creating your website so that you're not going to be bothered by cache when you are building your website actually. All right, now let's go back to the front end, visit the website. Okay, this is our starting point, and we're going to build something very cool together. If you have any question during the building process, just drop me a line down below. If you want just to share your, your joy and your enthusiasm about this video, this tutorial, and the website that you are creating, that we are creating together, do that in the comments. It's always a pleasure to read how do you say, motivational stuff. All right, we can start by clicking on Edit Site, as you can see here, this is a quick shortcut that is going to enable the site editor. Okay, here it explains to you that when you use this edit site, you can edit everything you want in your website, and you can also change the style. We're going to do that later. Now, from this situation here, to start editing our header, and transform it into something like this with our logo here, the name of the website, and navigation links, and maybe also a call to action, and also giving this specific design, we can go ahead and open up the list view, which is this one, this document overview. All right. When you click on this icon, you're going to see all the content of the page that you're editing. In this case, this is not a page, but it is a template. But it is not important to learn it right now. We just need to edit our header. So we head here, we click on header, and we simply go and click on edit or edit original, depending on the WordPress version that you're using. Okay, in my case, I will click on edit original, or simply edit. And inside here, we can add our logo first thing. So we select the first block, okay? And we see that this is the site title. If you want, you can keep it. It is pretty cool to keep it, of course. You can decide if you want to link this to the homepage of the website, or if you want to keep it as a simple word here without the link. In my case, I will keep the link. And I will also add before my logo. So I will click here on site title, and I will click on the three dots, and I will select add before. This is going to add a block before my title. Now, if you want to add a new block here, you can click on the plus icon and just select the site logo. So we type logo, and we see this block called site logo. Or we can also type slash and start typing, and we're going to be able to select our block. Let me show you how this is going to work. I'm going to delete and re-add a new block. Add before, and if you type slash and you type site logo, it's going to make you select your logo here in this case. Okay, now we can click on this icon to upload the logo. It's going to be, in my case, I have already uploaded here, so I can use this one. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to make these two elements a little bit more, you see, one beside the other, like this. To do like this, it's pretty easy, actually. We need to unify them. You see, I just select the first one here on the list view, and then I press shift and I select the second one. All right, and I'm going to select this, which is the row. As you can see now, the two elements are side by side, and I can change the settings here if I wanted to do so. I can also select the first one here and place it like this if I prefer. All right. And I can select the row here and select all the elements here. I can place it like this. I can do whatever I want. I go now to the Styles tab, and I see that I can change the style if I want, but it is not what I want to do right now. I can change the text, the background. I can add a background image and so on. I can change also the font size, all right? But what I want to do now is the block spacing. If you need to change the block spacing, this is pretty cool and simple to do. I'm going to leave it like this, actually. If I want to change the margin, I can do it, the padding, and so on. I will keep it now like this. This is going to be my row, which is containing all the elements. And then the second row here is going to contain the page list. If you do not have pages, you want to see it like this. Or you can simply go and create some custom links, which is going to become your navigation. So we're going to have the home page, the blog, and some categories. For example, in my case, I have selected here some categories of my blog that I use to make people navigate easily into my categories like this. Okay. Now, before starting to create our menu, we need to have some pages. So we're going to leave it like this at the moment. We're just going to add our button. Let's do so. We click on the plus icon and we select button. We type button. All right. We select the buttons block. And we can type inside here our call to action. It's going to be subscribe for my or newsletter, for example. All right. In my case, I want these buttons to be a little bit separated from this navigation here. So I will select the row and I'm going to separate the block spacing a little bit like this. Block spacing. Let me go tiny. Okay. Now I'm ready to save everything. All right. I will click on save twice. Okay. And I'm going to view the site. You see, site updated, view the site. All right. Now the front end looks like this. You see that in a matter of a few clicks, we now have a beautiful header with a call to action. We're going to add in a few moments now our navigation, and then we're going to change the design to match our floating header like this. All right, ready to go on? 3, 2, 1, let's go ahead. Okay, our header is like this. We can keep this page open now, and we can we can duplicate it, or we can just open another page with our website. We can go to our dashboard and we can create some new pages. We go to pages. Actually, we see that here we have a list of our pages. If you prefer and you're using the same theme as I'm using, you can click on Edit Site, and you can also create pages directly by clicking on the logo of your website and clicking here on the back arrow and going to Pages. All right, this is more modern, and this is going to become the future interface used by WordPress for all pages. So we click on Page, Add Page, and then we go and select our home page. So this is going to be the first page, Create Draft. We're going to select the template for this page, but in this case, we're just going to click here on this checkbox to avoid to see this starter templates. Okay, patterns, and we close this window. All right, this is going to be the home page. We're going to publish it, and then we're going to go back here to our pages list, and we're going to add another page. In my case, it's going to be the blog page, this one. All right, create draft. Okay, I'm going to publish this page too, and I'm going back to the pages list. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign the role to these two pages. The first one, I need to tell WordPress that I want this page to be actually my real home page. So I click here on the kebab menu icon, and I can select this as a home page, set as a home page, set home page. Then I'm going to do the same with the blog page. I'm going to tell that this is going to be the archive of my posts of my blog. So I'm going to set this as a posts page. Set as post page. All right. Now we can go and visit our website from the front end. Let's click here on the website title. And this is going to appear automatically up here. You see, this is my home page, which is already my selected as the main page. In fact, if I try to visit my URL, now I see this page as my home page. And this is my blog page. I do not have blog posts, so I see it empty right now. And as you can see, the navigation has appeared automatically. If I want to go back now to my header and I reload the page, I will see the navigation elements appearing there. All right. And I can go and change the positioning. For example, I can I can click on edit here, and I can switch the position of the home page and place it before the blog. And I can change whatever I want here. I can change the style, the settings, and so on. In my case, I will keep it like this. I will save. All right. And I will just make a little bit more space between the navigation here and the call to action. So I'll select the row. Let me open here the navigation. As you can see, I selected the second row here, and I go to the settings, to the design settings, the style settings, and I increase a little bit the block spacing. Extra small, it's perfect. All right. Save. I go and reload the website from the front end, and everything looks perfect for me. Now let's go ahead and do the same for the footer. So we go back here. We are in the heading. We click on back, and we can select now the footer. All right. We click on footer, and we can click on edit original, and we do the same. So a little bit of design. Okay, we can keep all the rest as it is. If you want, you can work with all the other elements. In my case, I will just, if you want, you can customize these links. For example, you can go here, and instead of having blog, you can change the link. You can link to another page of your website. For example, I can link it to the blog, to the actual blog page. Then I can go to the about page, and I can create actually an about page if I want to do that. In my case, I will keep it like this. And let me actually get rid of the pages that I do not need. So for example, this one, I will delete it. I just press delete. I select it and I press delete. Or I just can go here and delete. It's the same. I can go and do the same here in this second column. But actually here, I want to go directly to this second navigation and delete it completely. Okay. Delete. So that I just have a few links here In my case, the blog and the about page. And if I want, I can also add the home page. All right. Now I'll go back to the navigation. I will select my home page and I will place it to the top. I have home, blog, and about. All right, save. So this is my footer. All right, it is already working fine. It is exactly what I need in my case. I have my home, my blog page, and my about page is empty now. But as soon as I will create my about page, I can link it here. Let me show you how this works. Pretty easy. We can go on new page and we can create our about page. All right, let me click here, close, about. All right, I can publish. For now, I will leave it empty. Okay, and if I go now to my pages list, I can see the about page. This is the old interface to see pages. If you want to see the new one, the one that we saw before, you can just click on edit site and you can just go here into your logo. You go backwards and you will see all the pages right here. All right, so this is another way to see pages, basically. Okay, now I can keep everything like this and I can go and connect my footer. If I want, I can go here. Now I can go to patterns. All right, I can see that I have my header and footer quickly reachable from here. I can select footer and I can go, this is my main one actually, so I can select it and I can update my about page. All right, it's going to be actually my about page. Perfect. Save. Now let's go and visit the website from the front end. All right. So now this is our website. And if you want to change the design of the header and the footer, and you want to make it more like this, so make it feel like a separate floating header and a floating footer, we can just go ahead and do a simple thing. We can edit the website again. So we click on edit site so that we are again in the site editor. We can open up here the list view. All right, we can select our header and we can select edit original. And we open up here the structure. So we see that we have the main pattern here, then we have a group, and then we have a row. All right, now what we need to do is to work on the row, and we can add a background to the row. So we go here and we change the background. We have different ways to do that. We can just go here and change the color, but we can also test here using styles. Normally the style number 5 is the dark mode. And let me see if it's going to work fine. Yes, you see that the style is going to be automatically applied like this in dark mode, which is pretty cool. And we can also play around with other styles if you want to do so. And then you can update the colors, of course, and the fonts. And I'm going to show you a few of these elements in the next steps. But let's keep it on style 5 right now. If you want, you can also go ahead and change text and background like this manually without using the predefined styles. Up to you what you prefer to do, of course. Now the rest is good for me. I just need to increase the margin, the padding left and right. I'm going to put it like this. And I'm going also to decrease a little bit the padding here to the top. If you want, you can also add a margin top and bottom, which is going to space the element to the top and to the bottom of the page. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to add extra small padding, margin, sorry. In this case, you see that we have some breathing space around the header. And then I'm going to change the border to be, the border radius to be, let me check, about 10 pixels. Yeah, 10 pixels, why not? And then I'm ready to save. Let me go and check now how this is going to work in the front end. I'm going to click on back. Okay, I'm going to visit a preview of the website. All right. And beautiful, right? We have our great, good looking header. We can do the same for the footer. So we go back here to our template. We select the footer. We click on edit original. And then we go and open up here the structure. We see we have a group and we have all the elements inside here. So in this case, the group is here and we can work directly on the group. We can do the same reasoning that we had for the header. So we select styles. We can select style number 5. So we have a dark mode element and we can scroll down and apply a padding now. For example, extra small padding here and here. Then we can also have a margin. Actually, I think that the margin, it is already there somewhere. Maybe it is in the main one here. Let me check here. Yes, it is a padding actually. So let's keep it maybe like this. Okay, we're just going to work on the group here. All right. Let me go back to the styles of the group. And I'm going to change here the border radius. So I'm going to put 10 pixels. All right, save. Now, if I go back and visit my website from the front end, I'm going to see my new beautiful footer like this. Great. So it's going to work fine. Everything is in place exactly as I wanted. If I want to decrease the layout width, as you can see here, it is pretty large. If you like it, you can keep it like this, of course. But if you prefer, you can make it more narrow, like the one that I'm using here. And to do that, you need to open up the styles here. Okay, clicking on the styles icon. Then you click on next, or you can just click here on the X icon. And you can go and change the layout in this case. So we're going to head to the layout. We're going to change, in this case, the maximum wide width. All right. Instead of using 1340, we can go ahead with 1140. 1140. Okay. We can save again. And when we reload the front page, let me show you what happens. It's going to be a little bit more narrow. Okay. I like it like this. Personally, I think it's more readable and it works very well. And then I can go ahead and create my blog homepage. Let's open up our homepage now. We are seeing it right here, and we can click on Edit Site, or actually, no, here we need to click on Edit Page. I really hope that they're going to kind of integrate differently this, but in this case, we need to edit the homepage. So we click on Edit Page. All right. And we need to start inserting here all the content. The first thing we want to do is to change the fact that we see this home title. Look, you see that now I had this home title like this, and it is not what I want to see. I want this page to be empty and to be filled with only the content that I create. In this case, I want this beautiful hero section here and other elements. So to be sure to have a clean blank canvas, I will go to template. You see that here we have the template part, and instead of using just the simple pages, I'm going to click and change the template to page no title. There is a template called page no title. We're going to use this one actually. So we select it, we save, and when you go to the home page now and you reload your website, you will see that the page is going to be finally blank like this. All right. Now we are ready to type, to choose a block and start creating our hero section. Let me open here the list view, and let's start adding a few elements. Okay, we're going to add a new element, which is going to be, we can start with the column. You can type column. So we select columns. Okay. And in my case, I want to have a bigger column on the left and a smaller one on the right, where I'm going to place an image. So the structure is going to be something like this. Okay. So it's going to be 6633. Okay. And in the first, and I'm also going to select here the main column. I'm going to open the list view. Okay. Select the main column, and I'm going to make sure that this is going to be put on not none, but wide width. So the maximum width that I'm using in my website. All right. Now I can select the first column and I can insert some content. The first content is going to be a simple paragraph. All right. A simple paragraph. Then I'm going to type enter, and I'm going to type slash, and I'm going to type heading. It's going to be a H1 heading, which is the main heading of the page, the main title of the page. And here, be careful, insert a good catchy title, which is going to speak to your visitors and is going to just introduce what you're doing on your blog, and be very, 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 very short. Then we can also insert another paragraph where you describe the style and content of your blog here. And we can make this a little bit more big. So we can go on subtitle. Normally the subtitle is a little bit bigger. Okay. And regarding here, our main title H1, we can make it a little bit bigger too, just by going to font size, and we can set column size. We can click here. We can use rem. Okay, select rem, and we can go 5 rem. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, now we can go to the first simple paragraph and we can transform this into a subtitle. So a simple subtitle or uptitle, if you can call it like this. I don't know which is the right technical name for this kind of small titles above the main one. And we can go ahead and change the typography here by clicking on the three dots, and we can change the letter case in this case. The letter case in this case. Let me go and check this one. Okay, and we're going to change the font size to medium, and we're going to save. So let's go and preview all this in the front end now. We see that this is the content of our homepage. We're getting closer now to what we have into our example here. To add also a beautiful line before, so I'm going to show you how you can have some flexibility in your designs in general. We can go back to the page that we are editing and we can transform this simple paragraph into a row. So we can select here the paragraph icon and we see that we can simply go ahead and select group. All right. And then we can go to the group settings and we can transform this into a row. Once we have a row, we can click on the plus icon inside the row and we can select a separator. Separator. Okay. We select this. Now, in order to see the separator, we're going to select a width. In this case, we can go with grow, fixed, or fit. Fit, it doesn't going to show the element, so we can select fixed, and we can select a specific width. Let me check, for example, about 40 pixels. Looks good for me, but maybe even something more. Let's go with 50. Okay. We can keep it like this, actually. We can go ahead to the paragraph, to the separator, and we can place it before. All right. And we make save. If you want to decrease the spacing here between the line and the title, we can do it just by simply selecting the row, going to the styles, and going here to the block spacing and make it a little bit tiny like this. Now we can change also the color of the separator, or we can change actually the color of the paragraph too here. Let's make it a little bit different. In this case, we're using the default theme, so we can go ahead and use this color here. Do the same for the separator. It's going to be in the background here. We're going to use this one. Okay. Save. Let me go and see in the front end how all this is going to behave. Perfect. You see? Okay. Now we have to add some space to the top and to the bottom of this element here. So we can select the whole columns. We can go here to the styles and we can go and add some padding or margin. In my case, I want to add some padding. Okay, I'm going to make it regular or large. Let me start with large and see how this is going to look in the front end. Beautiful, it breathes very well. And then I can add here my final touch, which is the call to action. So under the paragraph, I can select the paragraph actually if I want to, and I can press enter so that I will be able to insert now another block. There has been a problem here, so I will place this above and this is going to be below, okay? And I'm going to type slash button. Okay, let me check this button here is going to be subscribe. I can add a link here by typing here by clicking here on the link icon, and I can insert here, for example, the page where I am storing my newsletter sign up form. If I'm using an email marketing platform, for example, I can paste the link to my landing page on that website where people can subscribe easily like this. Okay, in my case, I will place an empty link and I can save like this. All right. So here we have our beautiful hero section. We can add now our main image, the image that is going to present the content of our blog. If you see that here in the columns, we have the first column and the second column. The second is empty now. And we can also rename actually this if we need to do so. We can click here and rename it to hero section. We can do the same also for the columns if you want to. You can just type on the dots and go ahead and rename. This is going to be, to keep everything more organized if you want, of course. We can click here on the plus icon and add an image. So we type on image. All right. And we can click on upload or go directly to our media library, which is empty right now. We just have a few logos, so we can upload an image. I have my image ready now, and I can just click on select. All right, if I want, I can also change all the elements here. So I can go ahead and add an alt text. I can go ahead and change the resolution. I will leave it in large, and I can go here and change the style. In my case, I will just change the aspect ratio to make it squared. Okay. And I'm also going to change the border radius to be 10 pixels. Okay. Save. Let me check the front end. And we have our first section of the website ready and beautiful, beautiful looking. Now, at this point, if you want to change a little bit the design of your website, I'm going to show you how you can do it. You can click on Edit Site, and you just need to open the style icon. Okay, you click on the style icon, and you can go ahead and browse styles. We have some predefined styles, which are not very nice, but they are a starting point. You can use them, for example, to see how your website is going to look like in different colors, fonts, and so on. For example, like this, you see? Or you can change it to this one, or you can change it to this one, or to this one, and so on. In my case, I will keep it default, all right? And you can also swap colors by just typing here, selecting here all the different colors combinations, okay? Let me keep something like this one is pretty cool, actually. I will keep it like this, or I can also keep the main one, okay? And then you can change the typography if you prefer to do it. These are some predefined typography settings. Of course, you can then customize them completely, but it is a good starting point to play around. I will keep it default, and then I go back here. Okay. Now, if you want to change things a little bit more and control everything, how everything looks, you can go in the typography, okay? And you can manage your fonts just by clicking on Manage Fonts. You can go and click on Install Fonts, and this is going to allow you to connect to Google Fonts, and you're going to be able to browse all the Google Fonts and install them directly into your computer, into your website, sorry. So click on Allow Access to Google Fonts. You can type here space grotesque, okay, or any other font, of course. This is just one of the fonts which is pretty trending right now. Okay, and once the font is installed, you will find it in your library under the custom section. You can click here on the close icon, and you will see it here ready to be applied to your fonts. So for example, if I scroll down now and I want to add that font specifically to my headings, I can select headings, and I can say that all my headings, they need to be updated to my new font, which is Space Grotesque. Okay. And I can go ahead and save now. Perfect. Now let me check here. If I go to the style book, I will see that I can have a preview of my headings by clicking on text. And I will see that the font applied is correctly now my new Space Grotesque. Perfect. If I want to change my body text, which is this one, I can go back again, go to the typography. Let's go to the fonts management. All right, and we can install our font, which is going to be, in this case, maybe Inter. I really like the Inter font. I can select it here, and I can select all the variations. Click on Install. All right, and then once they are installed, I can go back to my page here and say that my text, my base text, is going to be not manrope, but in my case, Inter, and it's going to be updated all through the website. I'm also going to change the appearance. It's not going to be light, but it's going to be regular, actually. All right. Great. And I'm going to click also on the letter spacing, and I'm going to make it 0. Perfect. Save. Okay. So this is going to be my font decisions. You can update, of course, colors, and you can change the color palette here. You see that you can just go ahead here and change whatever you want. We can change the accent colors and everything we need to change. We can go also and update our buttons. For example, we can go here to the buttons. We have to scroll down to the block here. And we can select button. Okay, not the plural one, but the singular one. Okay, and we can change the style. For example, I want to change the border radius. I want it to be just 10 pixels. And if you want to see a preview of this, you can click on theme and you can scroll down until you find the buttons. You see that if I update here, my buttons is going to reflect throughout the website. Let me show you what happens. If I go and type 100, for example, it's going to be like this. In my case, I want just to be 10. All right. Then I can also change, I can add a shadow if I want. I can add a subtle shadow like this. It's a little bit too much, but yeah, this one is cool. I can keep it like this. Then I can change the color of my buttons. I want the background color to be a little bit different. I want it to be, let's say, like this. Okay. And then I can save. Okay. I can do the same also with the outline button. So I can go in style variation. I can click on outline and I can change actually here my text color to be this color here. All right. Let's save it. Save again. So now my buttons are different, my heading are different, and so on. If I want to upgrade my color to the same color that I'm using to the logo, I can go, in my case, I'm using Colorzilla, which is an extension, a free extension for Chrome. I can click on the color picker here and I can select it. So I really know exactly which color is this one. And once I have selected my color, I can update my buttons. So I go back here. Actually, I need to go to the colors, select my colors, and I can change this primary color to my new one. Okay, I can save now, save. I can also change this color here to be more in line with my palette here. Let me decrease the transparency here. I want this color to be a little bit more transparent, maybe, and also a little bit more clear. Okay, like this. Let's save. So this is my new color palette. And when I go back to the theme now, I see that my buttons will have the same color, you see? So this is working very well. Now let me get rid of this style book. I can just close it. And I can go and visit the website from the front end, view site. Okay, you see that the button now has my new style and the design, and also my title has a new style. And here there's a new typography and so on. So this is the way that you can use to style the website, of course. In case you want to see your page and yeah, the homepage in this case, while you're editing it, you can, while you're editing the styles, you can go ahead and click on Edit Site. Let me close all the others. Okay. Then you click on the logo of the website on the top left. Then you go backwards and you select styles here. It's a little bit tricky, but it's like this at the moment. And when you select styles, you see the same settings that we were tweaking before, but now you can do that while you see the actual homepage changing. Let me say that, for example, I want to change the shadow here in this button. I can go and click on blocks and I can change the shadow to my button. I just simply want to remove it. So I scroll down until I see the shadow here, and I'm going to test this one. Okay, a little bit too much. This one, I'm going to make it just empty like this, clear. All right. I will keep it like this, simple, easy as that. And then I'm going to click review one change and then save. All right, then if I go to my website front end, I will see it like this. Perfect. Now the basic structure of your blog is ready, so you can start creating your blog posts. Let's go ahead and do that. We click on new and we see that we have post. This is going to be very fun. You can go here and simply start creating your article. I really like creating posts using the block editor because it is created for that, and you can tell it because it is super satisfying to type inside this beautiful editor. Let's go ahead and create a first article. Okay, we have the title here. So this is going to become the title of your post. Then we have the content. We can add whatever we want here. So a simple paragraph. Then we can edit the content here just by hovering with the mouse and changing if you want to add some bold, if you want to add italics, if you want to add some links, if you want to add some more elements like this, you can do that. It's pretty intuitive and very, very easy to manage here. If you want to add lists, you can go slash and you type list. 1 element, 2 elements, and 3 elements. All right, you can also switch to numbers if you want to, like this. All right, and you can also indent if you need to do like this. Okay, I will keep it simple. And you can also add images and many other kind of blocks. You just need to type slash and then you search. In my case, I want to add image. I can add a gallery. I can add image, a media and text element, a site logo, a featured image, a cover, and so on. In my case, I will add a simple image. Okay. I'm going to use the same that I have here on in my media library. I select it, and this image is going to appear inside my article. As you see, it's very intuitive. You can go ahead now when you are ready and publish. But before publishing, let's go and see the post settings. We can go and set a featured image. Let's do that. Okay, this is my featured image. Let's set it up like this. And I'm also going to add an excerpt. The excerpt is the place that you can use to describe in a synthetic way the content of your article. And this is going to be used also in the meta description of your article. And you can also place it in the blog archive, for example. But let me show you how this is going to work. In this excerpt. Okay, so I have put it like this. Here you can also decide if you want to assign a different author to the blog post. In my case, is myself, all right? And then you can go ahead and change categories, tags, and so on. We can add categories from here. Let's say that my category is now creativity. All right, I just press enter and it's going to create the category for me. If you want, you can also use some tags if you prefer, and we can use, for example, AI, and then you press enter, and then we press, I don't know, design, for example, enter, and so on. Then when you are ready, you can go and publish your article, or you can just save it as a draft, as you prefer. If you want to have a preview of your article before publishing it, you can click on view and click on preview in new tab. And now we're going to see our article. All right, it's going to be like this. Now, if you want to change the template here that is going to display your articles, your posts, you see that this is the default one. It's not very, very nice. It's very basic one. And if you want to, you can change it to something completely different. For example, this design here, which is more modern and more organized, for example. And to do so, you just need to go to your article. Let's say that you are here and you are previewing your post, like we are in this moment. Okay, and you just click on edit site. Okay, you select edit site, and it's going to open up the template of your single posts. You see here, you got single post template editing. Now we click on the document overview here in the list view, and we open up the group part. Okay, so we make sure to select the first group. Okay, and we start decreasing the space. So the spacing. We go here to the block settings. We go to the styles. All right, and we scroll until we find all the settings about margin. You see that we have a huge top margin. We need to decrease this to none. Okay, and then we go and see if we have something to the bottom. I do not think so. We have. Okay, it is pretty good like this. To be sure, we can also go and select none here too. And the padding is going to be like this. Okay. So we keep it like this. And the first part, we're going to simplify it, or just we're going to make it look a little bit different. We're going to select the first group here, which is the group that contains all the main elements. And we're going to open it up to see how the elements are displayed and organized. We see that we have the title and the featured image. Actually, here we want a more complex structure, because we want a 2 columns structure with some elements on the left and some elements on the right. To do so, we're just going to insert here before the title here. We're going to insert a column structure. So we click on the 3 dots here, and we click on add before, and we click on the plus icon, and we use a column. All right, it's going to be this one, and we're going to use a structure. Let's start with 6633, all right? But we're going to change it a little bit. Okay, we're going to select now the main column, okay? And we're going to place this as wide width, all right? As you can see here now, the width in this specific template is again 1340. I do not know why this is happening, so we just go back to the styles here, and we make sure to have our layout with 100 and 1040, which is the actual width that we selected before. Maybe just a bug. Okay, Perfect. In the first column, then we're going to add the post title. So we're just going to use the same here, and we're going to drag and drop it into the first column. All right. You see that you can drag and drop elements just also from the list view. We're going to do the same for the featured image. We're going to paste it into the second column. And we're going to start, we're going to check how this is going to behave now. We're saving. We're going to click here on View Site. And we're going to the blog now, and we're going to have a preview of our blog post. But since our blog post is not yet published, we do not see it here. We need to go to the backend, to go to posts, and we're going to see create your first post here. It is my post, this one, and we can click on preview. And as you can see now, the design of the template is starting to change. We have our featured image on the right and our title on the left. So more similar to the one that we have here. Now we're going to have also other elements to place on the left, and we can go on editing all the elements. But before doing so, we select the image, and we also apply a border radius. So we select here, not to the style, but the block settings. We go to the style, we scroll down, and we add a border radius, 10 pixels. Okay. Now we can go to the title, and we can click on the three dots and add after. Okay. We can add term, in this case, /term. And it's going to be term. Oh, categories, and even better, categories. Perfect. We can change it to pill shape, for example. Okay. It doesn't change. I do not know why it is not changing. It should change. And then we can change also some typography settings. We can go with the appearance. We can go with the letter case. We can place it all like this, uppercase, and appearance. We're going to use light. All right. And we're going also to change the color to a more light color, this one. Let's save it, and let's have a preview of this post now. Reload the page. You're going to see the pill-shaped term, in this case, the category. Okay. And then we can add also a few more elements. We had here publish a date. If you want, you can also use the author, whatever you want. Let's place actually here the author and the publish date down here. So we add after, and we add here author name. And if you want to place side by side the author name and the publisher date, you just need to transform the author into a group, and then transform the group into a row. Okay. Then we click on the plus icon, and we select date, and it's going to be the post date. Okay. It is invalid because it is not published yet. So let's do one thing. We go here to our post here, we edit it, and we publish it so that we can preview also the date and other elements. So we click on publish. If you want, you can also avoid the double clicking on publishing by unchecking always show pre-published checklist. Okay. And we can publish it immediately. We can now view it in the front end. Perfect. And we go ahead here and save and reload the page of our template. Oh, sorry, it was invalid date also because we are working on a template maybe. Let me check here if we reload the page, what happens. Okay, we see it correctly. We see the name of the author and the published date. Let's now uniform the design of these two elements. So the author name is going to be a little bit different. We're going to open up the typography. We're going to use the font size. Let me check to, yes, M is going to look cool. And we're going to change the text color to this one. And we're going to change also the appearance to light. All right. Then we're going to do the same also to the date. If you want, you can also simply select the author here. On the three dots, you have copy styles. And you can select now the second element here. And in the three dots, we have paste styles. We can click on allow. And it's going to apply the same styles that we have in our author, also in our date. Now, in fact, if I reload the page, I will see that the two elements here will be styled the same. Great. If you want to write something before the date, you can do that. You can also link the date to post, but in this case, it's not important. But if you can add something before. So add before, and you can say, okay. And then here we can change the style of this by applying the styles. Okay. Save. Let's reload the page here. Perfect. Now, if you want to decrease the spacing here, you need to decrease the spacing of all the elements. It is a little bit weird, but it is like this if you keep only one row. So let's go here and let's decrease the block spacing to tiny. Okay. And then here I'm going to use the default one and save and see how this is going to look like. All right, I really like much better like this. Okay. Now it's really looking very good and professional. We can go ahead now and add our excerpt to show it in the article. So we can select the main row and add after. And in this case, we're going to insert here the excerpt. Okay, this is the excerpt. We can select for the font size something more like an M, no, a L, or even an extra large. Save. Reload the page. Okay, you see it looks very good. And the title actually here, we can check if we can make it a little bit more, a little bit bigger. So we can go and select instead of this, we can make it 3 rem or even something more, 4 rem. Save. All right, and let's go and reload here. Okay, looks good for me. And I can go on now and add a separator. So we will add a separator here that will separate the main heading content here from the actual post. And to do that, we need to open up the list view and make sure that we are working in the right direction. So we have the first column here. We can actually proceed in 2 different ways, but the main one is to select the column, go here to the style and go to the border and just unlink the border values and add a border here to the bottom. We go 1 pixel, we select also here the color, it's going to be this one, save. And when I reload the page, I'm going to see the border appearing there. But I need also to add some padding to this column. So I will go and add some padding, small, or even something regular is good. And I'm going to the group here, the main group, and I'm going to the settings here, to the style settings. I want to remove the top padding. Okay. And I want to remove also the, no, the rest is good like this. Let's save, reload the page, and now it's going to look like this. Perfect. Okay, very well organized. So you see, basically you can start using the editor to craft the template as you want. And then each time you create a new post, it's going to have the same template. It's going to be applied automatically by you, by WordPress. Now we can get rid of some elements down there. So we can, for example, here, this, you can delete it. Okay. Then we can go to the content here and we can choose to have some, let me check here. Okay, this one, we can disable layout, inner block use content width. We disable this, all right. And we place this to wide width, perfect. So it's going to be aligned with the rest. And now when we reload the page, you see that the content is going to be aligned to the left correctly. All right, this is exactly what I wanted. And then I want to place the content actually into a 2 columns layout, exactly as we have right here, so that I can place anything I want on the right, a call to action or whatever I want. And I can actually decide to do that or keep also a narrow width by clicking none, saving. And when I reload the page now, I will just have the content like this. You can choose whatever design style match your needs. In this case, I will keep it wide width and I will place this content area inside a column. So what do I do now? I select the options and I will simply go and add before a column. Okay, I will use this to add a column. All right, this column is going also to be wide width and there's going to be 66 and 33. Okay, this one. Now I'm going to place the content into the first column. All right, and I'm going to create a call to action on the right column. So the call to action here is going to be a simple one. It's just going to be a simple group. Okay, where I can insert whatever I want. So I can use a paragraph or a heading. Let me check the heading. Number 2 in this case. Okay. Or we can also choose H3 here. Okay. My CTA goes here. We can align to the center. Then we can add a paragraph. Okay. Then we can change the style also here to be aligned to the center. We can make it actually a little bit smaller, and then we can add also a button. All right. Okay, let's see that this is the newsletter call to action. We can place the button to the center too, and we can use also the outline style, which is this one. Let's save, and let's also see that we can go to the main group here, the call to action group, and we can change the style if you want. You can use the dark mode here, or all the other styles that are available right now. And actually, in my case, I will keep it default. It's going to work good. And I can change just the background to be a little bit more like this. And okay. We can go now and add some padding. So we go to the dimensions of the group, settings, dimensions, and we increase the padding here. We make it regular and we make it extra small here. Save. Now when we go and visit the website, we're going to see the blog post like this. So all the elements that we need here. Then we're going to have the call to action here, and then the content of the blog post here. Then we have some tags and we have the comments, just the same as we did before. We can reorganize this like this. We can select the group, for example, and actually put the tags in the column if we want, below the content here. Okay. And actually, to be sure that they are in the column, we place them right below the content. And we can leave them like this. Then we can go to the group and we can delete it because it's empty. We do not need it. Then we have the post navigation that we can keep like this. Then we have the comment section that we can change a little bit. For example, here, I do not want all the space here. So I edit pattern. I go to the settings here and I see that I have a lot of margin to the top. I will just decrease it like this. And also here, the margin to the left, I will decrease it. Let me check the padding. Okay, this is just the fact that I need to put it wide width. All right, perfect. Actually, if I want, I can put the comment section even before, if I want. Let me save here and go back. And I can just drag and drop this below the tags. All right, so that I have my comment section here below the tags and more posts. Okay, we can keep it like this one. We can actually go and edit this pattern. Okay, and we can do a little bit of increasing of the margin, and we can change the background, or we can actually use the dark mode here. It's going to work very well. And we're going to use also a radius of 10 pixels. All right, save. Let me check also the padding, the margin. The margin is going to be 0. And I just wanted to be sure, exit pattern. Okay. And since I have the post navigation here, I just want to see, edit the pattern. If I will have some margin, of course I have it. So I will keep this very tiny and I will save it back. Okay, so this is my final result. It is very, very simple. You see, I have my blog post now with all my elements. I have my tags, my comments down here. And then I have my other posts, in this case, the same that I'm visiting. And voila, that's it. So I have created a dedicated template for my blog post. As you can see, it is working fine, and you can have all the freedom that you want, that you need, if you want to change things, if you want to position elements differently. And this is just a starting point, of course. And now each time you create a new blog post, it will automatically get the same layout, the same template. So you just need to create the content and it's going to work like this. Now inside the content, remember also to use headings. In fact, here I can introduce my content with a heading if I want. It's going to be an H2 heading. This is the H2 first heading. And then you can put other headings inside the content, H3, H4, if you need to do so based on the structure of your content, of course. So you see, you got the title here, the second heading, and so on. Now, when I go to my blog page, the one that we created together, as soon as I start publishing some posts, you're going to see something like this. And when you click on the first blog post, for example, you're going to enter the single post and you can read it, you can comment and so on. Let's also add a comment here just to test the functionality. And it's going to work like this. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Now, so this is my first post, but the blog page, it is not very nice currently, you see. It's pretty weird. To transform my blog page into something more blog style, like the one that we have here, okay, with all our blog posts, cards that we can go ahead and read, we just need to take control of the template. The same that we did for the single post, we can do it also for the blog archive. So we can go back now to our website. We go and visit the website in the front end. Okay. We select the blog page and we simply go and click on Edit Site. You see that now here on the bar, we have blog home template that we are editing, the blog home template. And we can go ahead and open up the list view and go to the group here and do whatever we want. So in my case, I will go to the main group and change the margin. The margin is a little bit too much. Let's put none. Then we have this hidden blog heading. I can edit the pattern here and see what's happening here. I can change the title here to be something different. For example, my great blog. Okay. And then I can also go and save it. Okay, let's exit. I can actually here transform it a little bit. So I can add some elements before and after. Okay. To do so, I will just transform this into a group and I will transform it into a row. And then I'm going to add a separator. Okay, because this is a design that I want to accomplish. So the title, separator, and the description of the blog page. Okay, let's do that. The separator is going to be with the background a light one, or even this one, maybe. It's cool. Then we're going to have a grow. Okay, and then after the separator here, I'm going to add another element, which is going to be a paragraph, which is going to use some custom styling, for example. And here I'm going to describe the content of my blog. Describe the content of the blog. Okay, and I'm going to actually copy the styles that I have on another page. So I'm going to save this one. I'm going to have a preview of the website. All right, and I'm going to copy the style that I have here for this title in my home page. I'm going to edit and simply select my subtitle here. And I'm going to copy styles and paste styles in this page here. Paste styles. Great. So we have it in place. Now I will need also to select the main row and make sure that all the elements will be center aligned to the middle, which is already the case. I'm going to align this wide width. All right. And then I'm going to save. Let me go and see how this website is going to look in the front end now when I click on the blog page. All right, I'm going to see it like this. I really like it. And I'm needing now to add a little bit more spacing to the top and bottom. So I'm going to the row, okay. And in the row settings, in the styles, I'm going to increase the padding actually to be regular. Save, reload the blog page, and now it's going to look like this. Exactly what I wanted. Now I'm going to create a grid view of all my latest posts, which is going to look like this. And to do it, we're going to use a very powerful block in WordPress, which is called the query loop. So we go back to our blog page. We can just get rid of all the elements that are here in the list post column. We just delete all this. I understand the consequences. And then we go here in the row and we click on add after. Okay, we type group. We use the single group like this. We're going to place it at a wide width. And then inside the group, we're going to use the query loop. Query loop. All right. Let's go ahead and start blank. Okay, and we use the title and date. Okay, let's go and make it full wide width. Okay, and let's save. Now we can also go and click on the template here. We see that when we open the query loop, we have the post template and we can change it to grid, you see? So this is going to be grid view. Now we save again, and when we reload our blog page, we're going to see something like this. Okay, so this is going to be our post. It is the first post, in fact, the create your first post here. I have assigned this title to my post. And if I want actually to link this element here to the post, I need to do it here inside the post template. So I select the title, and I see that I can make this title a link, which is exactly what I want. I can save it, and I can go to my home page, to my blog page. I reload it, and now when I hover here, I see that this is a link, and when I click, I can visit my actual post. So I can read it and so on. Let's go back to the blog. All right. And if I want, I can also add the featured image, the one that I have inside the article here, appearing also in the blog grid, in the blog archive, exactly as I have here in this blog archive. Okay, let's do that. So we go here and we insert before the title in the post template. We're going to use the image, but not the simple image. In this case, it's going to be the featured image. Okay. Now, to make sure that the feature image is going to look like this in all the different posts, even if the image is a little bit different in size, first thing you need to do is to change the size to large. Okay. Then you link it also to the post. Then we go here to the settings, to the styles, and we make sure to have an aspect ratio 16:9. Okay. Okay. And let's save. All right. Let's go ahead now and view the website. When we go on the blog page, we're going to see a beautiful element like this. Okay. What about achieving a complex and advanced design like this one? I will leave you an advanced video down below this description in the description box so that you can go ahead and refine this card if you want to use an advanced design like this one. Just now, you can keep it like this. You just need to know that you can add whatever you want here. You can also add the excerpt if you want. For example, you add after here the post excerpt, and you will have it here. You see? And you can also add read more link if you want to, and you can save it. And when you reload the blog page, you will see it like this. You see? Of course, now it is above, but I can place it below the element here. Okay. And I can also decrease the size to S. I can also go and decrease the number of words in the preview if I need to do so, and I can save it. So now each blog post has something like this, and I can have the read more. In my case, I will keep it simple, and I will get rid of this element here. It is just, I want just to show you how you can organize the content inside here. But this is exactly what you need, because you just need the main image, the title, and the publishing date, or the author if you want, down here. Pretty easy, right? Very minimalistic and is working fine. If you want, you can also add the border radius that we are using throughout the website, also to the main image, featured image there. And so that your design is going to be consistent throughout the whole website. All right, we have it. Now that we have our blog page ready, we just need to enhance our home page, the main page. For example, we should need to place into our home page our latest blog post, like this, you see, just by showing the latest blog post like this. Let's say that we want the latest 4 posts. We can do it very easily. We should go to the home page. Let me close all the other pages. We just visit our home page and we click on Edit Page. And we also open up the blog post, the blog page, sorry, and we edit the blog post page clicking on Edit Site, the blog archive. So now this is our blog archive. And in the blog archive, what we're going to do is just going to copy this loop. So let's go ahead and open up here the list view. We're going to copy the query loop. Okay, copy. And we're going to paste it into the home page. Okay, let's go ahead here and add something after the hero section. Add after. It's going to be a simple group. Okay, we're going to place this group at a wide width. We're going also to add a spacing for this group. It's going to be regular. Okay, and inside here, we're going to add a row where we're going to paste our title and so on. So let's just make it wide width. Okay, and it's going to be just a simple heading that we're going to have an H2. Okay. Latest posts. Then we can also add here a separator. And then we can also add, as always, a description. So the best from our blog. Okay. In this case, I'm going to copy the style of this one and I'm going to use it there. So copy style and paste style right here. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the row here and I'm going to make it grow. So go to the styles and I make this row grow. I cannot do that. Apparently not, but I will be able to select the separator and make the separator grow. Yes. So let's change the separator color to this one, for example, and let's make it grow. All right. Beautiful. So we have the first row in place. We just need now to go to the styles of this row and separate it in the bottom. So we go to the margin, we unlink sides, and we just separate it a little bit from the bottom like this. And then we are ready to add after the row our query loop. So it's going to be just add after, okay? And we're going to copy and paste the query loop that we have into our blog post page, into our blog archive, sorry. Copy the query loop of the blog archive, and we paste it inside here. So instead of, yeah, we can paste it like this. All right, you see, that was easy. Okay, now we have it in place. We can save it. We can change a little bit more. We need to change it because we need to change the query type, not to default, but to custom. And we need to be sure to select post in this case. And we can change here the order and the sticky post if we want to keep it or not, and the number of items per page. In this case, I just want 4 elements per page. And I also want to change the settings of my post template. I want them to be not 3 columns, but just 2 columns. Save. Let's go back to our home page. And when we visit and scroll down, you see that we have our latest post down here automatically. Beautiful, right? So we have a great home page. We have a great blog page. And the last thing that we need to customize is actually the category page. When you go and click on the single post and you visit, for example, the category creativity, you see that we have this page here, which is a little bit weird and not very well organized. The best thing to do here is to uniform this page here with the one that we created for our blog post, for our blog archive, sorry. So how do you do so? Is pretty cool. And this is the last thing that I'm going to explain to you in this tutorial. And you just need to go here to the creativity page, which is a category page, and you can click on edit site as always. We're going to do the same to the blog page. So we make sure also to open the blog home template. And we're going to simply copy the main group that contains all the elements in the main blog page. So copy, and we're going to paste it inside the category template, which is called all archives template. In this case, we're going to open up the list view. We're going to just delete this group, okay, and add another group. I understand the consequences. And we're going to add a new group. Okay, let's add before. Okay, this one is going to be a simple group, and we're going to paste actually the group that we had in the blog. Great. Now here, things need to be a little bit different. So let's go to the query, which is in the second group here. And the query actually here needs to stay on default. So it is good like this. And the other thing that we need to do here is to go to the row, and we can change here. We need to change this to a dynamic title. Instead of having a written title like this, we just need to go / and we use a archive title. There it is. We remove the show archive type if you want to, or we can even leave it like this for the first thing. And then here we can just make sure to have, we just type enter here, okay? We type / and we type archive description, or even term description is good. Okay, term description. Okay. We can use the same style. So we go here and copy style and paste style right here. Great. And we can get rid of the first one here. We do not need it anymore. Delete. Great. Let's save now and see in the front end what is going to happen. I'm going to visit now the front end of the website, view site, and I'm going to go to the blog, and I'm going to visit now my first article here, and I'm going to click on the creativity category tag. Now you see that the category creativity, it looks like this. We do not have nothing here on the right, even if we choose to have the term description, because the creativity category has no description. To add a description here to this category, you need to add its category, and you need to add a description right here. This is my description. Okay. Update, you can click on view category, and you see that now I have my description appearing here. Looks very cool, right? So now everything is well organized. Each time you create a new category is going to collect all the posts that belongs to that category, and the user can easily navigate different categories like this. And if you want, you can also add the categories to your navigation. Let's go and see how you can do that. Let's edit the website. All right. We open the list view. We can go to the header here. You need first to click on edit original. Then when you are here, you just need to go in the navigation block, and you click on the plus icon, and you can click add block, custom link, and you will see that if you type creativity, for example, creativity, you will see it here. So this is your category. You can save, and you have it in your navigation. View site, creativity. Beautiful. Now, if you want to craft new blog posts with the help of AI, you can do it just by logging into your website. So let's say that you're outside your website, you just need to log in again. Okay, so I type WP admin, and I see that I have my Kodee here to the bottom right side of the page, and I can ask basically anything I need. In my case, I want to add a new blog post, and I want to craft the scaffolding of this blog post, the basics. So I want a basic structure that I will use to get started and then craft myself my blog post. Okay, so prepare a blog post with title Music in the AI Era, then create 6 short paragraphs about this topic. The tone should be positive, proactive, friendly. Use the site editor native blocks, use list elements, use emojis in titles. All right. Okay, so here I have a preview. Okay, this was not what I wanted to achieve, but okay. Create this blog post on my site now. Okay, so here I have my blog post, and let's go and open it up. All right, so we have everything in place. That's really cool. Okay, I can ask Kodee to shorten the excerpt. Okay, so this was the first excerpt. I have asked to shorten it up, and now it is shorter and it looks way better. Perfect. Okay, I have the content here. Okay, and I can ask to divide all the paragraph to introduce them with a title. So I say introduce. Okay, now I can reload the page, and I will see all my headings. Perfect. I have all my headings exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So I can click on save, and I can go ahead and visit my blog post in the front end. Okay, now it looks clean and exactly what I wanted. Great. That's great. Now I need to add a featured image and a category. So let's go ahead and do that ourselves. So I'm going here to change my category. It's going to be creativity. All right. I'm going to add as a tag AI and music. All right. I'm going to save. Now in the front end, I'm going to see my creativity, and my tags are going to be displayed here, AI and music. Great. So now what happens when I want to change, to add a featured image, I just need to go and upload it. I can go here and click on set featured image. All right. And I can upload my featured image. So here's my featured image. I can click on set featured image, and now I save, and I can check my article, and it's going to look like this. So in a few clicks, and with the help of Kodee, I have my article ready to be edited and improved, and then completely shared with the world. Now when I go to my blog page, I will see all the articles created like this. I can see my creativity category here. I can see my homepage. And in my homepage, if I hard refresh the page, I will see all the latest posts appearing automatically in the homepage. That's great, right? Of course, you can use Kodee for plenty of other things. You can ask Kodee, for example, to add more categories or delete some tags or reorganize some pages and so on. You can ask, for example, to create some content into our About page. Create basic content in our About page. You will find it in the saved pages. And there it is. Great. It created some content. Of course, you can change the template and so on. You can basically manage the whole website like this. Change that page template, page no title. Of course, it's easier to do that by hand, but just to show you what kind of things you can ask. And if you do a list of things that Kodee can do, it will do it for you. You see that it changed the template for us. It was pretty fast. And if you prepare a list of things that you want to change on the website, instead of doing them by hand, you can just paste inside here and Kodee will do them for you. Like this, for example, I asked to add an image gallery to my About Us page, and it is gathering some information, and then it will create some image galleries here. You see? Actually, now he just used some elements that were already present in my own gallery, so that's great, awesome. But if you want, you can also ask to search for images in the web for free images, and it will just do that for you and place them into your content. Now, when you finish creating your website, you're ready to assign to your website a real domain, not the one that is assigned temporary by Hostinger. But to do so, you just need to go back to your Hostinger website. So you type hpanel, all right, .hostinger.com, or you just type hostinger.com and you log in. And once you're logged into your panel, all right, you can go and check your website, all websites. In my case, the website is this one, all right, and you can click on Connect Domain. So when you click here, you will be able to claim your free domain. In my case, let's say that my free domain is called like this, all right, .com, just to show you how this is going to work. And if this domain is available, it's going to show up all the different extensions that are available. You can select one, all right? It's going to tell you that it's going to be free for the first year. Then you can click on Next to proceed with the registration, and it's going to connect automatically with your website. So in a matter of a few minutes, you're going to see, instead of this URL here, your new URL, which is going to be the name of your website.com. So this is very easy on Hostinger, and as you saw, you just need to proceed to this step-by-step configuration, and it's going to associate your domain, your new domain, to your already created website. All right, so now once you do this, you're going to be ready to publish your website. You can share it in your social media and so on. And then if you want to index your website on Google, and if you want also AI models to be able to find it and crawl it and propose the content that you have here on chats and on search results, you need to optimize everything for SEO. To do so, you can go into your dashboard, plugins, add plugin, and you can search for a plugin like Rank Math. It has a very generous free version that you can use to configure the basic SEO settings of your website. You can go ahead and install it from here and simply follow the step-by-step configuration. If you're going to follow the video that I leave you here in the screen right now, you're going to be able to set up everything about SEO on your blog. I leave you with this video and wish you all the best with your new blog. My name is Pascal. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and see you in the next one.